question that when I am live. But we're back, swim baits, glide baits, you name it. That's what we're going to talk about.
Absolutely.
Cameron's in the house, and
back at it.
And he brought a table full of lures. We should have the drone come and fly over top
yeah.
so we can take a picture of them. Our table's bowed from the weight. So I think we should start with the newest one that you just got, don't you think?
Yeah, let's open it up. So this here is the Savage Gear. This is the Scandal 250. And for those of you that have been around glide baits a long time, understand why they called it the Scandal. It is very similar to what the Depths 250 looks like. However, Savage did come across and really listened to the anglers. They ran some polls and figured out what people that threw the depths wanted to see as what they call improvement. I'm not claiming either way, right?
So it's 250 millimeters.
Yes. Yep. One thing to call out is it has the 4-way tail on it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that is really going to add a lot of stability to this bait, and it's not going to roll like some of the other baits would. It does have the swiveling hook hangers with factory feathers, and another thing to call out on this bait is the rubber coating on it. So that's going to protect it. It's going to just kind of make it a softer feel. And it has water chambers in it too that you can use to, really sink your bait down if that's what you're looking to do. But haven't thrown it yet. Excited about doing it, and look forward to creating some videos and getting going. Yep.
So we got it recording the tail. Talk about the tail on it too, because you got the directions.
Yeah.
So I don't know how often that you need directions, but that does have directions.
Yeah, so good call. So yeah, this tail it's squishy. It's got a, kind of like if you fished with a rubber frog before, right? And you're throwing it, and a lot of times you have to squish the water out of it. This has that same feature to where it's got a hollow cavity in the tail to where you can squeeze it and the water will squirt out on the bottom down here, right? And that way, if you want it to be more of like a surface bait or just barely subsurface. So
there's a lot of things I could say about that.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of thought about it too.
It's the only bait that can piss on you.
There you go. Good call. Good call. Yeah. And I really like the feathers.
That's cool.
The feathers on there. I think that just gives another strike point for the fish.
We get done here, we need to go throw it on the shore because I'm catching some stripers.
Yeah.
Right there. It's top secret. Right there.
Not there.
They're gonna be there for another couple weeks, and then they'll be gone. They'll start moving. Water temperature for stripers after it gets above 67. That's their preferred temperature. Just like we have a preferred temperature, so do they. But 250 is the length, and it weighs. Tell us again.
Right around 7 ounces is what that bait weighs.
7 ounces.
So you're gonna need
what are you throwing? What rod? Are you
so I'm throwing that on the Dobbins Fury 2 to 8 ounce. Series,
This is right at the max.
Right at the max, right? So, but I'm excited about that. That's pretty. So,
we'll set it right there. I mean, it looks like it's guarding everything.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, also new is the little bender, and it's articulated. It has 2 joints in it, and it has a bill. And it's basically about the size in between the medium and the little bender, I believe. And what you can see in this is Travis has not named it yet. It's Bentbill Custom Lures. So I guess if you order it, just call them and say, I want the one that doesn't have a name.
There you go, the crank down.
I don't know. I've given suggestions, but I told him he's going to have to come up with it. I have caught fish on it, and I did release a YouTube video on the very first day that he gave it to me, and he said, take this and we're going to see if we can catch fish. And right away I caught decent fish, and I caught some other fish on it. I think I caught 4 the first day of just using it and trying it, and then of course I went back to the glides because I wanted to use both baits. But so that's actually a new bait that's inside there. You have
so that bait will actually dive down to what, about 6 feet?
6 foot. Yeah. 6 foot is where 6 foot's about maximum, and so I haven't got it around the trees yet. I'm not worried about getting it around trees. because it's 6 foot. I have 2 retrievers. One of them will work to get it back. So I'm not really worried about that. And it's made with the same resin material and the same formula for the resin material. So it has that same toughness as you can see on your Shemedium. Looks like just you drug it behind your car to get here. Do you use that for brakes?
Yeah, for sure.
This is what you use for brakes.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, so that's something people can look at. And like I said, I have a YouTube video just on that, and it's short. It's around 3 minutes or something, or 5 minutes. In that section, we talk about it there.
And you actually catch about a 4-pound largemouth on that video, if I recall, wasn't it? It was
I
nice
caught something on it. So it was all good. And once I caught it, I was like, I'm done. I got what I accomplished. But I mean, that's the new one. Are you gonna buy new ones like before a show every time?
Yes, absolutely.
You are?
Every time, I'm gonna get me a new one. Until my wife slaps me upside the head and says no more. Right? Yeah.
I have a couple coming that already have some but I think hopefully they come and there's some different colors. Is what that's what I'm kind of hoping for, because some of these are not transparent, and I think we're going to get to a period of time where transparent ones are going to work better. So that leads us into your transparent one. You can tell us what that is.
So this is the Bucca Trick Shad. This is just, I believe, I forget, this is just a greenback color, whatever. But as you can see, that actually is a great video right there with the sun behind us. I mean, that's totally translucent.
Yeah.
And so in very clear water, this thing will do very well, right? The fish is not going to be able to totally key in on that and get a real good look at it. So they're going to have to chase this and ultimately make the decision to eat it. So very good bait. I think these retail at like $38.99, and it is ABS, so it's not your upper end resin bait. But again, I mean, I don't even call this a beginner glide anymore, because I've caught so many dang fish on these trick shads that it's almost a staple. It really is. I have one of these tied on pretty much every time I go out.
Did it come with an extra tail?
Yes, they all come with an extra tail, and you can swap tails on these to whatever color. So if you did want to put like a tracer tail on there, a fluorescent green or whatever, if you wanted to help keep an eye on it, you could.
Right. Did you just slide that on then?
Yeah, they just pull right out and pop right in.
Okay.
I know that.
What's the measurement on this?
That is 6 inches and I think 1.5 ounces. So you can throw that on.
1.5?
Yeah, you can throw that on about any rod, any heavy rod that you have.
All right.
Which we talked about the small crank down, but then I want to also mention this guy here. This is the Bucca Live Gizzard. And this bait here with that big tongue on there will dive down over 20 feet deep. So you can, for forward-facing sonar situations, you can really get this bait down. It swims, as you can tell, it really articulates. This is a very good bait. Excited about using that this summer, targeting some stripers.
Did you just get that?
I've had it for maybe a month or two at this point. Haven't caught anything on it yet.
Looks like a beta tail.
Yeah.
Like a beta fish, which they're bad to the bone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Yeah. And this one does have the rotating hook hangers. It'll dive down to 20 feet.
20 feet?
Yeah, and you can see it on the scope. I mean, you have to crank it down, right? But once it gets there, it'll stay there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
20 feet. Measurement?
It's big. I don't know. It's probably 8-9 inches, I would say. From that one's 10. So yeah.
That's like 230 millimeters.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's a beast right there.
For sure. Yeah, very tough to get though, because Bucca only does a drop of those once or twice a season, maybe. So your best bet to get that would be, on the used market from like Swimbait Universe or something like that. Yeah.
All right, you got more?
Yeah, got more. Keep going.
Show this one. This is a transparent one too.
Kind of where I was going is the Savage Gear 185 Shine Glide. Another ABS bait that is really good. You can chop that bait, you can wide glide it, you can do the style that I prefer, of just a very slow, steady, monotonous retrieve, maybe working a bump here and there, but that bait with that bone color with the reflectors in there in the sun works really good. You'd be surprised. And I think those are under $30.
These here?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Savage stuff was under 50.
Very affordable, right? Like, yeah.
So this got a little harder plastic tail to it.
Mm-hmm. If I had,
was that interchangeable too?
No.
Nope.
If I had one complaint about these baits, I probably have 8 of these probably, and
8 of these?
Yeah, and probably all but that one and one other one is without a tail. You get a couple fish on them and that tail comes off, and until here recently, I think Savage will now send you a new one, but until then, there was nothing to it. So.
Are the hooks
not rotating, but they come. That's another thing I really like with Savage stuff is they come with very nice hardware on them.
Right.
You know, solid split rings, very good sharp hooks, and yeah, that bait will be a big one, there's no doubt.
All right, let's see how far. So we'll show you how far that tail is. So this chops.
You know, did you notice the foam insert there in between the res or the plastic?
Right.
So
did you put that in?
No, I didn't. No. That's how it comes. So that's going to help keep that bait quiet, right? So it doesn't clack a lot. And there's a whole different rabbit hole you can go down to with glide baits is if you want a knocker or a clacker or something like that, or if you'd prefer just a real quiet, subtle bait. I prefer, in most cases, because I'm fishing in clear water, a quieter bait that I can just work real subtly, and that one will do it.
All right.
You have a bluegill one there too, I see.
Oh, we're not getting to a bluegill one yet.
Oh, okay. All right. You want to talk about the big ones? All right. So
yeah, we're gonna go with these, and then we'll sneak over to the bluegill ones.
I really like this bait. This is another semi-local builder to Northwest Arkansas here. This is Biggs Customs Baits. This is the Cetus. Biggs is located out of, I believe, like the Tulsa area. Makes very good baits.
Really?
Yeah.
That's Biggs. What's his name?
His name is Ryan Biggs. Is his name. And
his last name's Biggs?
Mm-hmm. I gave him a hard time here a while back when we were messaging. I said, you, for being a glide bait guy, I said, you have the perfect last name, right? Biggs.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a good one. And again, I mean, he sends his baits with very, very good hardware, very stout split rings, good sharp hooks on there. This was an actually custom paint job I had done by Fully Cranked Customs, a guy down here in Cave Springs. So yeah, he did a great job on it. And in clear water, sunny days, again, I think that probably has a big striper written all over it, I think.
It's got big, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Big.
Yeah.
So
and I think that one's 9 inches.
and both of the hook
rotate.
So hook hangers, both of them rotate. I see that he left the pin in there.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about some of these baits.
Sure.
Some baits have left the pins in, and other baits they have taken them out.
So a lot of baits that you'll see, especially garage builder baits, will have the pin exposed like that. So you can actually use a pair of needle nose, pull that pin out, and adjust the rings inside there that hold the joint together to make it more choppy, so your tail will flop back and forth if you want.
Right.
I prefer on a big bait like that something that's going to really glide super wide. So that's why I've kind of just left it as it came stock. But this one here, I mean, you can probably glide that thing, not quite as far as like the big bender, but you can. It'll really shoot out.
And that's resin.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good finish for resin.
Yeah.
So he's taken some time, and then he's also painted it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Chris does a good job at Fully Cranked Customs.
How long was this one? How much did it weigh?
I think it was like 8 or 9 inches.
It looks like 8 or 9 ounces.
Probably 4 or 5 ounces, probably. I mean, the big bender's 9, so we can put them side by side. Yeah, I mean, it's identical, right?
Yeah.
So probably 9 inches.
Yeah, and it's 4 ounces.
All of
4 ounces. Yeah.
And
we need a little scale.
And he makes a full line of baits all the way from, I want to say, 5 inches, and he has some that are significantly bigger than that as well. Does a lot of drops. Yeah, look up.
Did you get this on the drop?
I did.
You did?
No, excuse me, I didn't. I bought that one just off the website that he had. But yeah, look him up, Biggs Custom Baits on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, these might be. I hate to guess what type of hooks those are, but they might be BKG or whatever that.
BKKs or something.
BKK could be.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely good hooks.
For sure. Yeah, for being stock hardware.
Yeah.
That's one thing, I guess, advice I'll give anybody that's looking at ordering from a builder that you don't know very well or you're just getting with, is definitely check the hardware when you get your bait in and make sure it's not just some cheap hook that's on there or cheap split rings that could potentially pull out if you do get a really big fish on there.
Kind of been hiding this one.
Yeah, that's
this one again. The pin comes out, but what is this one?
So this is the Clutch Eco, and if you'll look, I've caught so many dang bass on that the glass eye actually came out of the other side of that bait. So,
see, I thought you did that on purpose, so that fish that don't want other, when a fish attacks this, only the one that wants to attack a fish that doesn't have an eye, and then you go to the other side for if they do.
Yeah. No, the Clutch Eco is the Clutch Eco does a good job, really good job. All Clutch baits, Josh over there, which I think you met at the Bassmaster.
Yeah, I met him at the Classic.
Yeah, they do a great job, and they put out a lot of good baits.
This thing is going to chop.
It's a very aggressive bait.
It's a very aggressive bait because you can see by the hinge how far that is swinging back and forth.
The cool thing about that bait though is you can really. You can fish it either way. You can chop it, or you can kind of get just more deliberate with your reel handles, and it will shoot out pretty well. Like if you're up against some tight cover and you want to keep it in the strike zone longer, that bait will do it.
What do you think this weighs? 2 ounces?
I believe it's just shy of 2 ounces. I'm gonna say it's like 1.75, right about 6.5 inches.
That'd be my guess on that. Very very chop type thing.
And again, Clutch is semi-local, right? They're
they're in Missouri,
right? Yeah.
So not too far away.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think the Oklahoma person's closer than Biggs. He's closer than us.
How could we not talk about Travis's baits, right?
Well, we gave him a shout out.
Yeah, we did.
Articulated.
But man, this is the medium bender, and this bait right here, so far this early spring, late winter. I mean, it was done, right? Like, and still, I just was out, was it Tuesday after work, and I slammed 2 really nice bass on this bait, and it's my go-to. That's probably the first bait I pick up on the deck when I'm going out. Yeah.
They work really good. I know I was out and fished for 30 minutes and had a 14-pound limit. Real quick throwing it. So, but you can also go for a long time and not catch any. So that's part of the deal. We'll touch on bluegill baits, but we'll just touch on, because we're teasing you. So we'll take that over there so you can see. This is the Gantrel Junior. I have the Gantrel, the bigger one. I'll have that to show you. But the bluegill bite's going to happen, and you did bring the Savage line through.
So this is the Savage Gear pulse tail line through. You can actually run it through so it hooks. You can top hook it or bottom hook it on either one, just with different line entrances on the nose of the bait. This thing, when you're reeling it, when you first start throwing this, you might get a little frustrated because you're thinking, man, this doesn't look like it's moving. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. But this little pulse tail back there, it's just going wild. That doesn't have much head movement on it, but that really doesn't matter. These baits, I think the tactical bassin guys over the last couple of years into spring have just done several videos on these, and they work. I'm looking forward to bed season here, to where I can drag this around some beds.
Well, the beds are out there.
Are they already starting to bed up? I haven't seen them yet, but
they're there. I have seen them.
What do you got there? That's a gargantuan.
And I brought this because I thought the last thing we do is touch on bigs.
Yeah.
Bigs.
Sure.
Well,
yeah.
And not just bigs, but
bigs
as in some of the first, feel that, as in some of the first,
man, that's nice.
First ones that I got, swim baits. And it was the BBZ1, which is Bill Cementel, we'll give him a shout. That was his, and
that's nice.
And so that's one of the first big glide baits that I had, swim baits that I had that I caught stripers on, and this is the second tail on it. But it was a Spro product, and so big. And so talk about your bites with big. You hold the big one, I show a big one, and just look at look at big baits, and so talk about a bite on a big bait. Why is that bite different than say the bite, even a bite on the medium, or let's just go all the way down. This is kind of the smallest one that we have there, and talk about the bite.
Yeah, no, so I'll give a little story here on that as well. I was actually just out Sunday evening with Travis from Bentbill Customs, and we were fishing, and I had been catching over the weekend some bass on my big bender, and had some frustrations because when you're throwing a big glide bait, you're really fixated on watching that thing in the water, and you get a lot of followers because they have incredible drawing power. And you'll get a lot of fish swipe at it and potentially even bump it, but they're not committing to it. And I was just getting so worked up and excited. As soon as I would see that fish or I would feel the bump, I was setting the hook and it was over essentially because I was pulling it out. Or when I would get one hooked, I would get it to the boat and I was trying to horse that heavy 4 or 5 pound bass into the boat and I was pulling the hooks out, right? So Travis, shout out to him. He's telling me, he's like, man, you gotta let him take it. Let that rod completely load up before you just kind of just pull it into him. And so once I started doing that, we started catching fish. Actually landed up catching probably about a 15 pound striper with Travis, which was a blast. I got that on the big bender here. So that was fun. Again, where this one here, this is a 7 ounce bait, this Scandal 250. I'm going to have to really pay attention, right? And make sure that I present this bait correctly and set the hook and land the fish right. So. All
right, what size line are you going to use on that?
So I'm going to throw this on 20 pound P-line CXX. Man, that's just
Is that a monofilament?
So it's a copolymer. So it kind of has the best of both worlds, right? So I was using 25 pound big game on this bait here, and monofilament, and it is such a heavy, stiff line, and monofilament floats, right? So I was having a really hard time getting this bait down, and switched over to the copolymer, and I think I even used some Seaguar and Visix 20 pound full fluorocarbon, and it actually really helped the sink rate and stay down without trying to pop up all the time. So the line I use though is the P line, the CXX, the moss green color one, and it seems to work really good for me. I know in talking to some other guys that use it, they've caught 30 pound stripers that they've had to horse out of the trees, and that line is held up. So I guess it's probably going to be good enough to catch anything I'm using. What about you? What are you using?
Well, I'm using, it's top secret. No, it's not top secret. I'm using, I went to Bass Pro Shop, looked around, and I wanted monofilament, and I was like, what would be good? What do people to catch big fish, what do they use? So I went to their saltwater department, and they sell in bulk, in 1 pound spools, they sell offshore tackle, or offshore, whatever Johnny Morris line is, and that's what I'm using.
Okay.
And I changed mine, like I changed the one rod today, about every 2 weeks in general. And once my line starts curling a little bit, just even a little bit, I'll change it, and then I tie mine, and I file the hooks every night. So before I go out, the hooks are extremely sharp. But that mono has enough stretch, but not too much stretch, because it's made more for saltwater fishing. And the lead 15 is the lightest you can get in it, and then it just keeps going up and up. And so it sinks pretty good inside the water. And that's kind of what I was looking. Either I was going to get like big game and go with that, but I knew that was stiff, and this line is not that stiff. And so I just went with that. I don't know, it's around $20 or something. And I've almost run through one spool. I have a friend that has a little bender, and about every 2 weeks when he shows up, I take the spool with me, and we take the line off, and we put new line on. And he says even if you don't use it, it's still being exposed to sun, sunlight, is and being curled up on a line, that seems to work pretty good. And we'll just see. I don't know if they'll change it or not. So so far so good. And I've been throwing the big bender on it, so we'll see. I've been throwing some 3 and 2, 3, 4 ounce baits on the thing.
You know what's interesting is if you listen to, which you and Mike at the Mike Bucca may have talked about this at the Classic, but Mike is a huge proponent for using like 80-pound braid, just direct tie. And he says that because the complaint with braid and glide baits is anytime you get a backlash and you get that 10 yards out on your 50-yard cast and you hear a thump, right? Yeah, your line is very
susceptible
weak
to breaking.
Right, yeah, and these are expensive baits, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is probably what, $600, $700 right here.
My wife's in the other room, so I
Be quiet, right?
No, these are
$5 each. What are we talking about? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean.
So yeah, they're expensive, and so you want to have good line, good equipment. Yeah. Another thing that I always watch, and I've had this happen before, is the very end of your rod, the last tip, right? Is make sure you don't have any type of bevel on there or anything that's sharp, because if you start to feel that line fray, I mean, you're gonna cast off, right? So more than likely, what's happened is you've nicked the end of that last tip, or guide, and your line's weakened there.
And you can also tell that that's happened by when you're reeling in and you see a real fine, like mono pile or something that's starting to build up, and you'll see that, or on braids you'll actually hear it on braid. And so if people are watching, you have an idea on fishing line, you can always give it a shot, because we'll look and see what you have to say.
Sure.
And I think that pretty much covers it for this time. I'm sure we have to go down there and cast this before it gets dark.
I'm excited about it. So, I haven't used it yet, so yeah.
I know. And we won't do what I did with my Shemedium one day, that the line did break and it went, but I had too lot of line on, so we've rebooted on that. But anyway, make sure you check and see. We'll actually post a little bit before we do the next show, but probably the next show will be about bluegill shaped baits. And so I'll get some more of I got some live targets that are really killer. And they don't even make the one I like anymore. So we'll show you next time. We'll just show you bluegills. Bluegills, and more bluegills.
Yep, there is a short window. That's what they're eating, right? So
there we go.